but I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and my mom is one of 14. And so I come from a very, very, very large family. And we're definitely of the perspective that it takes a village. And so people come to my home and they're like, how do you not have children? Your home is so child friendly. And I'm like, well, I have a huge family and there are always children here. And I always have someone's child with me for an extended period of time. And so people just like, when they actually come to my house, they really can't believe I don't have kids. So.
Well, sounds like you already raised 5.
Yeah. That's like a Chris Rock joke. He says in large families that the eldest 2 raise all the others. And I have to say, my parents are awesome, but my sister and I definitely took the lead on the younger 4. So like, at least in our minds, my parents were obviously the bosses of everything, but in our minds, we felt the responsibility.
So I tell you what, I know we've got limited time and this is the last thing you do before bed. Should we call that the start of the show?
Okay. Sounds
Hi
good.
there, esteemed audience. Welcome to an episode of Middle Grade Ninja. My guest is Tina Wells, author of the newly released Honest June, which just went wide. I know it's been exclusive with Target for 3 months already, and we're going to talk a bit about that as well. But so you're the oldest of 6 kids. Does that responsibility for your younger siblings, do you think that has something to do with your going on to found your first company, Buzz Marketing, at age 16?
I don't know. Yes and no. My mom often says that I'm exactly the same person today that I was at 3 years old. So I don't know for better or worse what that means, but in her mind, she says I'm exactly who I've always been. So I think being the oldest of 6 made me use all the resources I had available to do what I needed to do at that age. And I wanted to be a fashion writer and I love products. And my first job was as a product reviewer, which led to marketing, which led to the agency. And so it definitely played a part, I think.
At what point does Buzz Marketing go from being that fun thing you do to, oh, this is the thing?
I got my degree in journalism, and then post journalism, I realized I was getting into business and didn't understand the fundamentals of business. And so I ended up going to Wharton and doing a program they had way back in the day called Wharton Programs for Working Professionals. And then after I was in the program, I met a professor and ended up working for him and teaching there. And then I took over as academic director of a program called Leadership in the Business World for about 6 years. And so I think that I often say the first 20 years of my career were like gut instinct and I just rolled with it. And it's only in the last few years that I think I've become really, really intentional around what I want to do and how I want to show up. But I always just thought I was a kid who landed something really interesting and unique. And I kind of just went with it. I was what I was doing, there wasn't a name for it. I was doing influencer marketing before we all talked about influencer marketing as we do now. And, I was, researching millennials before we all talked about millennials the way we do now. And so I was fortunate to be on the cusp, but also that meant that people didn't always understand what I was doing at the time,
Well, it's the problem with being a trailblazer, right? You have to show them all. Now, of course, everybody is following in your wake and saying, of course, this makes why wouldn't you do this?
Yeah, that's the story. I do think that that's a through line in my career, doing things that haven't been done before and dealing with the we don't get it and then we do it and then other people come and execute it much better maybe, but I like it. I think sometimes I see a way that something can be done, and I've been fortunate enough to have partners that go along with me, and I think we'll talk later more about Target, but I'm very fortunate to have partners who see the vision and we try new things.
And I know you were a big reader as a child, right?
Oh yeah. My dad used to take all 6 of us to the library once a week over the summer, and I would get out as many books as I could for that week. And so on a good week, I was reading a book a day. But I was reading like Fear Street. Do you remember Fear Street? I loved Fear Street. Sweet Valley High, Sweet Valley Twins, whatever was in that genre, it would just have to be able to power through a book a day.
A book a day. And I know you read about still a book a week, maybe a little bit more sometimes now.
Yes, I do. I just finished Single Black Female yesterday, and today I started Lucky, which is Reese Witherspoon's like book of the month. And so, and also thank goodness for Audible and South Jersey living. That means I'm kind of always in need of content, and there's always a book I'm reading, and sometimes I'm listening to a book and then reading, a totally separate book as well.